Hi, Kristen here, and I help busy single moms and entrepreneurs remove blocks so they can achieve their financial goals fast, so they can live a rich life full of peace, joy, and abundance. And if you've been with me for a while, you know I'm all about finding, researching, and sharing information that can help you along that journey. And today is Wacky Wildcard Wednesday. So you don't even know what kind of topic I'm going to train on. It could be anything from I get a lot of questions on a DIY, a new mom hack, a new organizational hint, who knows, recipes, all kinds of fun stuff. Even though we're going after these financial goals, I feel like you need to have a well-rounded life. And so that's why my blog has an interesting variety of information, because we can't just be one-dimensional. We are single moms, we do it all. We know a lot of stuff about a lot of things. So here you go. Today's wildcard topic is all about lunches. So how to have healthy lunch for your children and so they're happy and they eat it. So stay tuned. When I became a single mom, I had all these visions of, all these organic lunches and fabulous stuff that I would be feeding my child. But when I got into it, it became a challenge to sustain that vision. The organic foods, nothing processed, no sugar, all of that was very challenging, especially when you go grocery shopping with a toddler and they didn't want to stay in the shopping cart. I never knew all the little kid enticing foods that were 2 feet off the ground at the grocery stores. It made shopping so challenging. If you've been following me for a while, you know that I've watched the documentary Forks Over Knives, and that is the lifestyle that I've been leading with my daughter, and this is how we eat all of our meals, breakfast, lunch, and dinner is a plant-based whole foods diet. But when it came to lunches, I was a little concerned, like could I maintain this? I was very lucky in the first 2 years of my daughter's life that she went to a home daycare, and Miss Fabby made homemade meals for them every day. She had a wide variety of food that she got to eat. Lentils, zucchini, these hearty Brazilian soups. It was fantastic. And then I found myself moving to a new state. She's being enrolled into a new school, and this K2 program for the 2-year-olds did not have a cafeteria or a food service for them, and I was going to be required to pack her lunches every day. And I remember talking to my friend, I don't know what I would pack a 2-year-old. I don't want to be putting in, junk that I know she actually would eat. I want to put in good stuff, but I just don't know how to go about it. And, she told me about a friend of hers that would put carrots and celery and hummus, and that's what that woman's little girls would eat. And I thought, yeah, my child hasn't mastered the dipping skills yet. She just sticks her finger in the ketchup and the barbecue sauce and licks it off her finger. She doesn't know to dip that in there. So I was like, well, I guess I could do some carrots and hummus. I know she likes baby carrots, but I really struggled. So I reached out to other parents. What did they do? And I was all over Pinterest. I was on all these mommy blogs, and nothing really was resonating with how because I like to be streamlined, I like to be efficient when I do stuff, and all of the things I was reading about seemed like a lot of work, and I was like, I don't even know if she's gonna eat it. So now I've been making lunches for about 8 months now, and I'm hoping with what I'm about to share with you, it'll give you some inspiration and some new ideas that you can go ahead and make up a process that works for you. So first things first, packaging. How am I gonna get the lunches there? I researched different types of containers that I could send her with her lunch in it. Most containers only had 3 sections. I really wanted more than that because I wanted to give a variety of food. She was a toddler, and one thing she liked one day, she may not like the next day. So I want to make sure she had other choices so she wasn't starving, and I was probably overanalyzing it all, but that's what I wanted to do. So I wanted to show you one of the containers that I got. It's called a Bentco container. So it looks like this. So big section, and then the 4 smaller sections, and this nice little round, I should put that in front of my face, and this nice little round section in the middle. So step 2, you got your container. Step 2 was on Sundays, I planned out the lunches for the week. I would pick 2 to 3 main meals for the lunch, and I would repeat, two lunches would have the same main meal, and then 3 lunches would have the same main meal. So the main meal could be anything like noodles. Noodles are a good one. or whole grain pasta noodles, whatever you want to do. And then I do a sandwich, sometimes a peanut butter and jelly sandwich, sometimes a ham and cheese sandwich. Yes, I know ham is a meat, it's not on the forks over knives, but I probably do that once every couple of weeks. And to be honest, actually the last 2 months, I probably haven't even done ham in a very long time, because actually she wasn't really eating them. So the noodles, it could be simple as just boiling some noodles, and I would put like the little tiny square carrots and peas and corn medley, and I'd throw some of that in there while the water was boiling, strain it, put a touch bit of butter on it, a tiny bit of little garlic salt and some parsley, and boom, I would have that for 2 servings for the week, that she would have some noodles. And the noodles usually never came back with any in there, she ate them all. And then so that would put that in the main section, or I would do the sandwich. Sandwiches, I'd also use like a little cutout and like make hearts or Mickey Mouse ears or anything like that. And then I would just go through, and every time the vegetable would go in this one, so I'd either have some carrots and hummus, I'd have a salad in there, edamame, sweet bell peppers, or I'd put that corn, pea, and carrot medley in here, just on its own. If it was just like a sandwich here, I'd use that for the vegetable. In this section, I'd always do some kind of fruit, sliced apples. I would do a mix of grapes and strawberries and blueberries in here. I'd do sliced kiwi, whatever it would go in here. This was always, I would kind of make this treat or the snack. So I'd have pretzels in here, vegetable straws. It's a chip, it's allegedly made out of vegetables, but they actually fit in here nicely, so that's why I use them. Goldfish pretzels, goldfish crackers. My daughter really likes quinoa and rice, so sometimes if we had that left over from like a Sunday lunch or Saturday lunch, I would put that in there. I'm sure the ladies loved her spilling her rice and quinoa there. And then this middle section was her little treat. So this little round section is awesome. It fits. It's the perfect size for mini Nilla wafers. They just stack 5 in there. I also got Annie's organic, they're bunny confetti cookies. I don't think organic makes the cookies any healthier, but I love the size. They're just like these little tiny bunnies I could put in here. And that's how I would fill it up. And I just have each day of the week would be different as far as how I filled in these sections, but this would have either the pasta or the sandwich of some sort. So that's how I did that, and I would stack them up in my fridge, and I'll share some pictures of how that looks. Then after I do all the lunches, I lay those out, then I pick out what snack she'll have for her afternoon, and I always try to make sure, like if I put pretzels for lunchtime, she doesn't get pretzels again for a snack. And so I line it up. Usually it's like a squeeze pouch and some goldfish crackers or rice cakes or pretzels. I'm trying to think of other things that those veggie sticks I said again. I just make sure it's not a repeat of whatever she had at the lunchtime. If I do sliced apples for an afternoon snack, I actually send her with another smaller cooler so her apples stay cold. And yes, people are like, well, don't they turn brown? Well, if I do apples, I usually give them to her the very next day. And they do turn a little brown, but she hasn't complained. And I know there's other things you can do so they don't turn brown, but it's just right now that is working for us, so that's what we're doing. The last step before I'm done is then I label all of the containers. I put the lids on, I label all the containers. It says which snack goes with what. And then also I make myself a note, like if I need to add salad dressing to the salad, or there's one more thing I need to do. That way I remember in the morning, so I'm not in a hurry and I forget. And then I have just one airtight, sealed tight container I use the whole week. So the rest just have a basic cover on it. But then when it's time for her to take it to school the next day, I put it in that airtight sealed container. What I like about that, it's rubberized, so if it gets dropped, the containers won't break. It's leak-proof, spill-proof, which actually does make a difference, because I actually just tried to use those clear lids, and I did have it leak when I've used it. So I just used the airtight one. I only have one. They were like $27, and it just seemed like a lot to have 5 of those. So I just wash it each day and reuse it. I might get a second one just to ease that up. They had some for $15 on Amazon days in the summer, so I may do that again when they have the Amazon days again. Anyway, so, and then again, like I said, I shove all of that in there. They all have their notes. It's all ready. I line up her little milk, her almond milk, little individual packs or little half juice, half water juice boxes that I have, so I alternate those each day. And yeah, and we're done. It takes about an hour and a half. I've had people ask, does that last all week? Don't things go bad? And no, I mean, obviously I'm rechecking it every time because I have to put it into that new container, and so no. And I mean, my daughter has been eating the meals, and you know, for the most part, everything has been gobbled up, or at least she's tried all different parts of it, especially the middle part with the cookies, obviously. But yeah, and I just make sure I have that little sweet treat or snack part where I maybe put a pretzels or something, just because I know the other kids, I've seen what they're bringing, and they're bringing Cheetos and they're bringing all these other things, and I don't want her to feel like she's getting deprived or she doesn't have something good. So that's why I've been doing it. I don't know if it's right or wrong, that's what I've been doing. So I have had questions about the Bento boxes, and I will say I had these same questions. I was worried about getting them because I read one mom saying her 4-year-old couldn't get them open, that they were too difficult. So me being a planner and making sure everything works, is a month before she was supposed to go to school, I had her start practicing. I would say after about 4 days, she figured out how to not only just get the airtight sealed one off, she could even just get the little plastic ones off as well. And I mean, in the end, she just kind of manhandled it. She didn't really do it gracefully, and she got everything open. So my 2.5-year-old was able to open up the Bento boxes. The last question I would get are the compartments too small. I'll be honest, when they came in the mail and I was like, oh my gosh, these look really tiny. Like, I don't know if this is gonna be enough food, and these won't last very long because she's gonna get bigger. But actually, you can get a lot of pasta, you can get a half a sandwich. Well, you can do a whole sandwich actually, because you can stack the two halves on top of each other in there. I think that's just enough snack for her of the sweet stuff or whatever, so I wouldn't want those compartments to be any bigger. I mean, I get quite a few fruits and vegetables in there, so right now I think it's a perfect size. Would she be using this when she's 10 years old? I'm not sure, but I also don't have a 10-year-old to gauge on what the difference is and how much they eat, so it's kind of up to you if it's something you want to explore. I don't know. Hopefully this has inspired you and you realize it's not so hard, and you're not going to be every night trying to scramble and put together lunches. And maybe you do Monday through Wednesday lunches, and then on Wednesday night you do Thursday and Friday lunches. However you want to make it work for you. You got to do what you got to do, right? But hopefully this information has inspired you to realize it's not that difficult, and you can get this done and not make it painful, and your kids will like the meals, and they're healthy, and you feel good about the food that they're eating while they're at school. So I have a great download for you that'll give you some ideas on what you can put together in these lunches to help keep them healthy. You'll want to go to www.kristen-and.com/21, and you'll just click on the link there to get the download. Simple as that. Again, I hope you found some inspiration in this and you can make your lunchtimes fun. Oh, and I forgot to mention, I actually do have my daughter help. I want her to see how things get prepared, so I put her in her little mommy stand, and she's next to me helping put things in. I talked to a nutritionist, and she really said it's important that kids be involved in putting together the meals, and so they are more apt to eat things that may seem a little weird. And so she enjoys it. She feels all important up on the stand next to me doing it. So yeah, get your kids involved with them, make it a family affair, and have fun with it. That's what it's all about, right? Having fun with your kids. So make a comment in the section below if you found any of this useful. Which part? What are you going to do? Is something you've been inspired to do? I'd love to hear about it. And as always, as you go through this transformation, always lead with gratitude. Love you guys. Bye.